all the way from India, Santosh Vadivelu. Roll it up, roll it up. Pleasure, sir.
Thank you.
Roll
Can
it
everyone
up.
hear me? All right. That says I have 25 minutes. I'll probably be done way before that, so we'll have some Q&A. How's everyone doing this afternoon? I was supposed to be morning, but it's okay. We're still here. Everyone's good? I'm not hearing anything. Okay. I don't like talking to a quiet audience for 15, 20 minutes, so I'm going to ask questions. So I would really appreciate if you engage. I don't want hands up, just shout the answers. Okay, we're not in classroom. We're in a, let's say, a communal setting. So let's be friends, okay? I'm here to talk about exporting brands, not talent. How do we launch commercially viable companies for the global majority? That is Asia, Africa, Latin America. And I'm going to start off with a story. This here was taken in November of last year. It is at a Bitshala summit. So Bitshala you could think of as the B-Trust equivalent of India. They're focused on empowering and enabling developers for the Indian ecosystem and making sure they're developing for Bitcoin. The founder came to me and said, "Hey, Santosh, can you judge a pitch competition?" And I said, "Absolutely." So I sit down, I've told there are 10 teams that are going to pitch, and I'm ready to go. The first team comes up, and they start presenting the product, the solution, technically sound. I am blown away by the talent. I have no words. I can't question the solution that they're presenting. So I'm sitting there thinking, wow, India has got so much going on. By the way, for context, I wasn't living in India this time. I was just being nomadic and I'd only been living in Canada. So I said, okay, as I was daydreaming, my co-judge sitting right next to me says, so how does this make money? What do you think their answer was? They didn't have an answer. Silence. Not just the first team, the second team, the third team, the fourth team, up till the 10th team. None of them had thought how to make money. So I'm sitting there going, hold on, okay, so these teams wanted to pitch. They didn't consider how to put food on the table, so what exactly is this? It's just an initiative, it's just a pet project. So what comes after that? And then that evening, this really stood with me. So as we were having dinner, I realized, we talk about Bitcoin. Oh, the savior, it has everything. It's going to save all our problems and solve all our issues. No, it's not. It's great money. It's borderless, it's permissionless. Yes, as technology, it's great. But Bitcoin does not tell us how to build companies. The white paper does not tell us how to get users. The mempool is not going to tell us how to get our first revenue. How do you take it to market? How do you build something sustainable? Bitcoin does not give all of that. But traditional systems do. But let's hold on. If I were to give you a map of recognized brands in our space, what regions do you think they'll be in? Sorry, Global North? She's spot on. By the way, don't take a picture of this and say these are all the only companies. This is for a sample to prove a point, okay? They're all here and they're all here. And one could argue, you know what? Capital flows there, talent flows there, Silicon Valley's here. Sure. Can we change that? Do you think we can change that? Okay. I know India's got talent. Africa's got talent. These are just some of the brands that Indian developers are contributing towards and working with. That is brain drain. None of these are Indian brands. They're all non-Indian. So all the talent that I was working with or interacting with during that competition was all going over abroad. What options do you think they have? So these developers, they've got ideas. What options do you think they have available to build this company? Shout it out. Nothing? There's some options. We've been talking about a lot. Huh? VC funding? I heard something here. Grants? Anything else? Startups? Okay. Family and friends. The first answer that comes to everyone's minds are grants. By the way, anyone taking a picture, don't take this and be like, oh, Santosh said grants are bad. No, that's not what I'm saying, okay? I don't want to go on Twitter tomorrow and say, hey, Santosh said this. No, 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 please, don't make me a villain. Too late? Okay? All of the logos here do great work, okay? They provide a quick injection of cash. If you have an idea, they'll support you to get started. But that grant giver, I'll pick on B-Trust because we have the board member here. They're not going to give you the same answers I asked, which is where do you go to market and how do you get a revenue model working to sustain yourself across 10 years? But they sure will get you started. So they still deserve an applause, okay? But we need to be careful on what comes next. What's another option? You can go to a traditional accelerator program. What does that look like? They're going to take an idea, put it through 12 weeks, get you pitch ready. But when you get to that pitch, do you know what they're all looking for? They're looking for a hockey stick growth. They're looking for ROI. No one's going to give you money if there's no ROI. Those investors in the room are only asking one thing. Can you be a unicorn? 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 You can. Okay. If you can, they'll give you the money. But they're looking to make an ROI in 7 to 10 years. If you're not going to achieve that, sorry, out, go try again. Better luck next time. That brings me back to this group of talented developers I met. What did they do? So far, we're saying they can get a grant. It's not a sustainable company. They can go to a traditional program. They're going to be stuck in cyclical VC fundraisers and burning cash. So how do we solve this? What do you think we could do? Silence. Infrastructure? Circular economies? Come on, guys. Come on, give me something. Give me something. Startup hubs? Crowdfunding. Okay. As I was thinking through all of this, the first question that came to my mind was, okay, first, how do we put these guys in front of investors? And I said, you know what? They're not pitch ready. They can't come on a stage and communicate the ideas right. They need help with that. Okay. That's easy. I can support them with that. Next, capital. Who's going to provide them some capital? I said, you know what? Maybe I'll put some funds away to get them bootstrapped. Why not? Small, I'm talking about small amounts. So I rolled up my sleeve, decided to organize an accelerator program, and I went to India, decided to go connect with my motherland. Take a raw idea, 12 weeks, get it pitch ready. And now you're probably thinking, whoa, Santosh, you're using the exact same words as a traditional accelerator. You're also showing me the same exact icons. Is this guy going crazy? No, I'm not. I had one mission. Any team that I selected, I wanted only one outcome. I didn't care if they fundraised. I didn't care if they became a brand. I didn't care if they became a unicorn. One simple question. Do you kill or commit to this idea? Why? For too often, I see many talented individuals spending 6 months, 12 months on something that can't last for more than that duration. They don't even know if they can build something sustainable with it or make profit. So if that's the case, is it worth it to take the time of these youths to just spend it on a project that may not end up being a business? I wanted to consolidate that. Can we shrink that timeline to 12 weeks? So at the end of 12 weeks, they know, you know what? This is just something that I should just keep on the side, spend maybe an hour a day, not 10 hours a day, because this isn't putting food on the table. So to me, if all the teams kill their ideas, that was still success because they weren't going to waste their resources. And resources are very important. And the question that I asked, not will you become a unicorn? The question I kept asking is, can you survive multiple Bitcoin halvings? Not 4 years, not 8 years. I'm talking about 12, 16, 20 years. Because you know what? If you can survive 12 years in this ecosystem, you're not going anywhere. You've been earning Bitcoin, you've been earning a brand, you're here to stay. Nothing is shaking you out. Unless you get into a scandal, but we won't get into that. Or argue on Twitter. Guys, let's just play nice, okay? And I'm happy to say the first cohort, smashing success. And ladies, I'm sorry that we only had one represented. So for the next cohort, I'll try to make sure. I mean, we'll make sure we improve. I'll be looking at a Satoshi, the sister circle for that. Uh, I was honestly, it was a hypothesis. I went to India thinking, could I make a difference? And it was helping the individuals there, and they blew my mind. Yeah, no words can describe what that experience was like, but I do want to showcase some things that came out of it. The first one, right now, if you wanted to buy one whole Bitcoin, you didn't have the money, you can't do anything. You can only buy what you have available. This company called Breadit wants to allow you to buy Bitcoin via installments. So if you want to buy one whole Bitcoin, you give them 20%. You have to pay interest. So it's an equal installment payment every month across the whole year. And at the end of the year, you get one Bitcoin. Next one. How many here have seen a steel plate solution for your seed phrase? A few in the room. Okay. How many here know what a private key is? Okay, in the back there, that people that aren't putting your hands up, a key is what secures your Bitcoin and gives you access to it. It's 12 words or 24 words. You write it on a piece of paper, you keep it on a phone, it's on a laptop. It gives you access to this money. India, until now, was exporting these things from Europe and North America. India now has its first metal plate solution. You guys know what this is, right? A feature phone. Some dude figured out how to put a Bitcoin wallet into this thing. And lastly, we've got Kenyan royalty. So Tando's in the house. Everyone's always talking about Tando. Someone built a Tando equivalent. We have 90 million merchants that use this system called UPI. 90 million officially recognized. There are over 500 to 600 million, I'll repeat that, 500 to 600 million unique barcodes in this system. So now imagine being able to use Bitcoin that seamlessly. So these are just some of the teams, and you're probably wondering, are these going to be brands? Are they all going to make money? Unicorn. Multiple halvings. We don't want to be unicorn. No unicorn. And if we're going to value anything, we should value it in, do we want to be 1,000 Bitcoin? Not a unicorn. Because then a unicorn means you want to be 1 billion. I have no answers. Will all of these become global brands that you know in 10 years? I don't know. But the seeds have been planted. These teams, these talent now see a path that doesn't just include starting with the grant. Yes, start with the grant. I'm not saying, again, quote this, you can take grant money, you can fundraise. They are good. You can quote me on that, okay? Now, after you take the grant and you fundraise, let's make sure that's not perpetual and you're not always putting your hand out. You're able to sustain yourself, you're able to make profit, and you're able to make this company last across decades. One of the lessons I took away is if you give the youth a path forward, set a vision, they will shock you. And I'm excited for what's to come. And I'm going to take, I might digress a bit, so bear with me, okay? My biggest takeaway more than anything is the difference between Bitcoin first versus Bitcoin powered. And I'll give you an example. I'm wearing these socks. Okay, it's got Bitcoin on them. Can anyone, I mean, it's hard. That's all I could do. It's got Bitcoin on them. Okay, so let's say Suli tomorrow says, I'm going to start a sock company. It's going to be a Bitcoin sock company. I'm only going to have Bitcoin designs on it. Okay, that's cool. How many potential customers do you think Suli has in the world? 0.5%. Okay, that's a lot. Okay, I would have gone even less than 0.01, but sure. Now, if Suli were to sell socks with all kinds of designs, but kept his profits in Bitcoin, incentivize his customers with a loyalty program based on Bitcoin, how many customers do you think he has? A lot more, because it's just a sock company. Okay, that's a Bitcoin powered company. It's in the background. It's still there. It's a Bitcoin power company, not Bitcoin first. And I was I purposely put that orange. This is an orange, and this isn't orange. We've gotten so orange-minded, we lead orange first. Let us put it in the background. Let's use it as a tool that supercharges the problems around us. And we have problems everywhere. everywhere. I was outside the other day yesterday speaking to KG, and there was garbage collection. Garbage collection is a business. It's a great business. You want capital? The question came up before. How do you get capital? Start a garbage collection business, make that money print, capital will find you. How does Bitcoin fit in? Pay your employees in Bitcoin. Maybe create a savings program with them. We can use Bitcoin as a tool when correct, but now I don't want to digress too much because let's get back to the theme about exporting brands and not this difference, okay? Because I'm getting a little philosophical. The great news though, so Africa is very close to me. For those who don't know me, I spent 13 months with my wife going from Cairo all the way down to Cape Town, mostly over land. This book is a homage to Africa. Africa's given us so much. It's changed our lives. It's given us friends, family, acquaintances, and memories that we'll cherish for forever. So it's only fair that I come to Africa next. So cohort 2 will kickstart in January. Applications will open in October. We'll have interviews in November. We'll announce the selected teams December, and the 12-week remote program will launch January 1st, 2027. Someone said, well, 1st is a holiday, so okay, January 2nd. Jan 3. Okay, the Ugandans want Jan 3. All right, Kenyans, you guys can start Jan 2nd. I'm going to start Jan 1st. Uganda can start Jan 3rd. The goal is, again, to kill or commit. And during that time, if we can get investors in front of these talented developers, get mentors, I'm so excited because I genuinely believe Africa will blow India out of the water. There are more problems, there are more solutions, there's youth, but there's one more thing that you all have in Africa that India doesn't. And I'll say it out loud and you can quote me. You have courage. You are not bound by rules and regulations. So, sorry? Period. So I am psyched to be here next year. I'm going to do this program every year because building these brands don't happen in 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. In 20 years, if we can successfully build 5 or 4 globally recognized brands, that's success. But can we all have the patience for 20 years? I have. Do you? We keep saying low time preference, low time preference. We should live it. 20, 30 years. I'm in it. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Recursive Capital is ready to join the party. I just got news of that. So we got it. So if you want to fill in these other boxes, whether it's mentorship, you like to be involved, if you want to add capital, come find me. If you want to join a cohort, the more the merrier. There's so many problems, and I would like to create Bitcoin-powered brands. Bitcoin first brands are okay, but if you really want capital, if you really want to market, Bitcoin-powered brands. And that's a distinction we need to start making. And if there's one thing that you take away from this conversation, okay? Let us export brands. We don't want brain drain. We want to give opportunities. We want to create structure. We want to create mentorship paths for the talent that exists here. We shouldn't lose our talent. And I'm saying this global majority, not just in India, not just in Africa. So yes, let's export brands, not talent. Thank you. I have 6 more minutes, so questions? Yes, sir. Can Neil Wilson? You're pretty ahead, but absolutely. I wouldn't call you an early idea anymore, but yeah. For sure. Absolutely. I apologize. We'll add Sully as a judge, or yeah, Neil Wells will be. Absolutely. Yes, Robert. Mm-hmm. 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 Yes. They were on the map. To defend myself. Because, hey, you never know. This stuff, social media these days, dangerous. Dangerous place. Gridless Kando. I knew this would come up. Yes. If NeoWealth comes in with a bunch of money and says, you know what, we'll sponsor everyone to be in person, then why not?
Okay, because I also have, I don't know if it's Bitcoin powered, but it's Bitcoin themed.
Okay.
So I have a small platform called Knowledge Bit. So it's basically a quiz platform where you can go and set up questions and then it's gamified. So you play with people. So I also want to join the cohort.
Sorry, it's a quiz platform. So I can go create a quiz and what happens?
And then you can bring it an audience like this.
Yeah.
And then everyone can play and the winners walk away with sats or Bitcoin.
Bitcoin powered, we should talk. Because if you told me only Bitcoin questions, that's Bitcoin first. So this could happen in a pharmaceutical pharmaceutical event, right? Could happen in an athlete event. Okay, Bitcoin powered, not Bitcoin first. Any questions? Anything else? That's it. No curveballs. Wow, you guys are so kind. Thank you. I appreciate it. See me at the. Well, thank you, everyone. We still have a few minutes left. You've been a great audience. I appreciate it. And yeah, happy to interact and build more brands.